Hello everyone, my name is Alexandra and I am a LanguaCert ESOL interlocutor. That means that I am responsible for the speaking section for all of those candidates that go through A1 to C2 level of English exam. Today I'm going to guide you through the whole process from the moment where you go and create your profile in the LanguaCert website until the moment where you get the congratulating email from LanguaCert. That means that you passed the exam. Let's start. What you do first is the registration. That means you go to the LanguaCert area and you create your own profile, signing up with the Facebook account, logging with LinkedIn or Google. Try to make sure that the candidate is 16, so over 16, because if the candidate is under 16 years old, they have to create another type of account. So if you agree that you are over 16 and you go through the other, you go and click the other boxes over here, agreeing or not to receiving news and offers, and of course agreeing to the terms of use and privacy policy. Then you create your own password and you join to see the profile completed. So this is a template profile we have here. This is your profile with all your information. And eventually, once you do your examination, you will have your badges, exam history, and obviously you have your purchase history because you already purchased your voucher, your voucher code that will be needed to go and book the exam. So let's proceed and put the code that your accredited center provided you with. You see over here, and you confirm, and you will see that there is your information on the left side, and you have to fill in other information. These ones are obligatory fields over here, and additional information. If you agreed with accredited center that you will have the paper, so your certificate delivered to your address, then you have to give the address when you are asked to. Otherwise, you can agree with them that the certificate, the paper certificate, can be delivered to their address. So you confirm your exam, and we go on to booking it. So you go and check what days and times are available based on your time zone. Okay? In this case, it's let's suppose it's our year and a date that you are available, and that the time that you selected is available. Over here, you will click it. It will become an orange colored section, as you can see, and you submit it. Once you submit the exam, you will receive an email thanking you for choosing LanguageCert, giving you your level. In this case, it's a B2 ESOL exam, giving you the information about the day and the time based on your local time when you scheduled the exam. Okay, and you will have a few steps to let's say to continue before you get started with the examination at that day. Now, what I suggest is to really read the guidelines that are provided to you in this email. That will make it much more easier for you to understand the whole process, and to also check if any missing information on your profile is provided or not, in case you see there are misunderstandings on your name, surname, and so on. And the last step is the exam shield. You have to download it on your laptop, on your computer. The software has to be there, otherwise you cannot take the exam. It has to be ready at least 30 minutes before you take it. So you see here, it says that you need to check your computer and network compatibility at least 1 hour prior to your exam. I would suggest that you go half an hour online, logging into the exam shield with all your credentials, just to check whether your internet connection is good enough, whether you have your earphones ready, and other checking information that you might do before the exam really starts at the specific time provided. Okay, you have the exam details provided below, and we move on to check the overview in total. Now, if you log in from time to time to your account and you select overview, you can let's say have an expanded view, and it is enough to click on the plus button, okay, to check on the information provided. And please note that you can reschedule an exam up to 48 hours before its starting time, because this is free. Otherwise, you have to pay a fee based on the accredited center's regulations. Okay, that this is explained also below, depending on the country, the currency, the taxes, where they're applicable. Okay, so you will be charged if you reschedule less than 48 hours before the exam. Okay, keep that in mind if you want to reschedule. Otherwise, you just go on and take the exam. So before taking the exam, keep in mind, as I mentioned before, to read the candidate guidelines. That will help you a lot. If it's for Windows or Mac, you have both options. And as I mentioned before, it's advisable to go and log in at least 30 minutes before the scheduled exam. So you have to download the exam shield, and every time you log in, it will provide you with the minutes or hours left until the exact time of the exam. Okay, and once you click log in to the exam shield, this is the view you will have there. On the left side, again, you will have your information, such as exam code, the ID, and the date and time. And on the right side, you will have the other information about all the steps you have to go through before you go in the exam. So as you can see, all the 3 steps have been already concluded, and this candidate has to download the exam shield. You click on download and go on with the process, accepting and installing it in your computer or laptop. Remember to sign in with the candidate number and the examination PIN. And as I said, this is the information provided as to when the exam will be opened. So in this case, it's 4 hours and 51 minutes before. So a notification appears that a system check is running. If you are willing to do the system check, I always advise to do it beforehand, and you will see the notifications after it's finished. For example, you can check the audio. Always keep in mind to put the earphones before, or the headphones, and check it with them. The camera, it has to have a clear background, also keep that in mind, and the internet connection. Now, you might have, so you click on yes, and you will record it for a couple of seconds, and you can see yourself. It might be like you see that the video recorded is a bit not usual, like the ones flowing, like we always are used to, but that's fine, that's okay, it's not a problem. Now you might be also surprised or a bit worried when it says that there's a warning in the internet connection section down here, but also it's usual when if there is no cable, so there is no internet cable connection. But if you have a strong Wi-Fi, it's still fine, you can still do it, but make sure it's ongoing, so the connection won't be paused or interrupted while you are taking the exam. So now you're ready. You just have to check the boxes to agree that you have your ID document handy. Usually you leave it on your table. Okay, you just have to have an empty table in front of you with your ID or your passport. You agree that you are alone in the room. There's no one else there. Please don't put someone under the table. It's not advisable. And you can rotate your webcam to provide a 360-degree view of the exam environment. They will ask you to do it, so whether it's a laptop or not, you will have to hold your laptop in your hands and rotate it 360 degrees, so they will see where you're sitting, where are the windows and the door. And usually they ask you to sit in front, so with the door at your back, so they can watch the door if someone goes in or out of it. Okay, just keep that in mind and make sure you have a light table able to move it where they want it to. Your mobile phone should be silent or just thrown outside of the window or just put somewhere aside, maybe in the other rooms. Also, an advice for me is to please find normal sized room, because if it's too large, they're not able to view it and they will ask you to move to another room. And sometimes it's not gonna be available if you will be, for example, at your office. So make sure it does not have a big surface, but also that it doesn't have many windows. That's a pro tip there. Okay, and if in case bad luck would have it that you lost your connection or it get interrupted by who knows what kind of situation, you just have to refresh it, log in again, and don't worry, because you will not lose any data or any time, okay, from that moment on. So don't panic and you will move on with your exam. Okay, so everything is checked and you just click at the exact time, start exam, and good luck with it. Okay, now while taking the examination, you will click on the NDA agreement, so you'll agree with the material written here, so which means that the exam is confidential. You will not share any information with anyone, or I don't know, like photocopy it or sell it and so on. And mainly also that they will not actually get your personal information and sell it to third parties. So make sure you can reassure that they will use it only for the purpose of the examination. You click on next, and they are giving you information about the exam. Okay, so these are the instructions. This means that on part 4, but this is depending on the level, so no worries. Just in this case is the B1, but it depends on the level. Some minutes more when it's B2 or C1 or C2, and less when it's A1 or A2, for example. And it's advising you to keep on your desk a blank sheet of paper and a pen or pencil to make some notes in part 4. Okay, you will be asked for that because this is a spoken exam in this case. So make sure also that your headset is plugged in and you have checked your audio settings. Please, please, please do not remove your headsets at any moment from the laptop. Only if you're asked to, but I don't think they will. So always keep them like plugged in, and if you're asked to just lower them and put them on the table, that's fine, but never unplug them. Otherwise your connection to the exam will be lost because they cannot be able to hear you and give you guidance. Okay, and of course you cannot copy or reproduce any of the content of the exam. So you go on next. The tutorial, in case you might need it. We go on next again, and as I said, you will click on the boxes, check all of them, and you agree that you have them the headsets connected and tested. Obviously you can use also the normal earphones that you use for listening to music or watching a movie or a video. You have the ID document ready on the table, you are alone, and you cannot take any breaks during the exam session, and the desk is clean, having only the blank sheet of paper and the pen and pencil. So the mobile phone will not disturb you, and please keep it as far as possible when you do the exam, because they have this that's why you downloaded Exam Shield, because they can be able to check your head movements, okay, and you don't want to be disqualified only because of that. Okay, now here is where you scan your ID. They can take a picture, hold it steady, and you move on. Now you go on with the exam, and you allow a few seconds for them to just be able to have a clear view of you. Okay, now this is where let's say this is a view on how the backstage looks like, with the interlocutors on the other side checking at you. So after the exam, you will receive, as I said at the beginning, an email congratulating you for passing your exam. Yeah, so hope you will all succeed and you will all pass it. And obviously this is not a certificate, okay? You will receive these 2 emails, but they are not a certificate, just making sure that you know that you passed it or not. So you have to log in to your account, and you can find there all the information about how many how did you score, or how let's say you can share the badge with others on other social media. Okay, and this is how it looks like. You can click on your badges on your profile, and as you can see, you can download it, share it on LinkedIn, Facebook, or email it. And again, for all of you who will succeed, let me know in the comments below. And if you need any further information or other videos that might help you with your ESOL examination, please let me know. Also, I will attach another video talking about Take 2 receipts. So they are, if you add them to your current exam, they cost less and they give you a second chance. If you fail the exam at the beginning, you can get a second chance to resit and take the examination for, let's say, maybe even a third or a fourth of the price if you rebuy it from the local accredited center.